This is John Watts. I want to continue to talk with you about ejectment lawsuits in Alabama, and in particular about the 5 most common mistakes that we see Alabama consumers make. Now, we've already talked about the first one, which is simply failing to answer the lawsuit. The second one that we'll focus on today is assuming that since the foreclosure sale has already occurred, and remember, we have the foreclosure sale and then we have the ejectment action. So assuming that since the foreclosure has already happened, there's nothing that can be done. And that simply is not correct. Now, that assumption comes from several sources. Oftentimes, folks who have experienced a foreclosure will start to tell their family or their friends or coworkers or maybe people at Little League about what happened and how this mortgage company had mistreated them and had lied to them. And people will say, well, look, foreclosure's already happened. There's nothing you can do. It's done. And then the other reason is that oftentimes people will call bankruptcy attorneys. Now, bankruptcy attorneys can use bankruptcy laws to stop a foreclosure. But after the foreclosure, what bankruptcy attorneys will say is, well, there's nothing to stop. It's already happened. And that all feeds into this assumption that after a foreclosure sale, nothing can be done. And here's the truth of the matter. If the foreclosure was wrong, if the person doing the foreclosure, in other words, the mortgage company, did not have the right to foreclose, if they did the foreclosure in an improper manner, if they lied to you, if they breached their contract, any number of things, then that foreclosure itself is void. It's improper. And remember, in Alabama, it's a non-judicial state, which means a foreclosure is done without a court being involved. But when it comes to the ejectment lawsuit, now a judge is involved. So now we can point out to a judge, here's what the mortgage company did, and look at all the things that happened. And so now we have a court actually being involved. So from that perspective, sometimes the case is better if it's a wrongful ejectment case rather than we sue to stop the foreclosure. Because now we have a company that's done a wrongful foreclosure, and now they have the audacity to sue us, to try to kick us out of our house. That's why we call it a wrongful ejectment case. So never assume that just because a foreclosure has happened that all your rights are gone. That's not true. It's not true at all. So we'll cover the next few mistakes in subsequent videos, but we hope that this video has been helpful to give you some things to think about. If you have faced a foreclosure, just remember, just because a foreclosure has happened does not mean that you are without rights. You have your rights, and we'll talk about those in some future videos. If you'd like our special book on these 5 common mistakes and you live in Alabama, we'll be glad to send that to you. You can call me at 205-879-2447 or go to our website, alabamaconsumer.com. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.